Should you quit Etsy? I hear it almost daily. It's time to quit Etsy. It doesn't work. It's too competitive. It's too saturated. They have too many fees, yada, yada, yada. This may surprise you, but all the above is 100% correct. Let's discuss. Hey everyone, what is happening? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL. Glad to be back with you as usual. And I got a little bit of a controversial episode for you, but not really. I kind of pitched it that way, but I'm going to talk through this so you have a better idea and a better understanding of why I introed the way that I introed, because I want to help you through this process of self-doubt, and I want to give you the motivation and encouragement and the tools to get through this. And you're going to understand at the end of this episode exactly what I'm talking about. So I encourage you to follow along, stay tuned, and listen very, very carefully. If you think this episode is going to be about helping you quit your Etsy shop and take the easy way out of it, you're dead wrong. You're completely wrong. This is not that type of episode. I'm not about the quit life, and I will never support anyone quitting on doing their Etsy shop, their dreams, their goals. I won't support it and I won't condone it. But that doesn't mean that these type of feelings and reasons for quitting that I mentioned earlier are wrong or are not valid. Most people actually feel these things. I've felt these feelings before. They always creep in. Most people have felt them many times in their life. I'm here to help you right the ship. And like I said, give you the stuff that you need to correct this and get your mind right without sounding too crass about this. But this is going to be a good episode for you guys. And before I get started, if you guys just started your Etsy shop or you've been doing it for a little while here, I have a quick start guide that you may want to check out. It'll help you go through your shop and make sure you have everything ironed out, all the best practices laid out so that you can be the most successful as well. A lot of the problems that people have with Etsy are because they don't have they're not doing things the right way in their shop. So it's the Etsy Quick Start Checklist. Get that at handmadeandbeyond.com/quick start. I always want to make sure I'm giving you guys stuff, tools, downloads, worksheets to help you guys in your business, just like I'm doing these episodes. All right, so diving back into quitting Etsy, understanding why these feelings come up in your business when you're starting a new business. The doubt creeps in, the quitting creeps in, the blame game creeps in. Everyone has to go through certain steps when they start a business. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't get through the whole steps. This is why they quit and they don't continue. So understanding the steps that you go through, your mindset, the psychology behind it will help you continue on, because you know, okay, I'm in this step. I just need to push past this step so that I can continue on my journey, and things will change if I can muster up the courage to push forward. But I can tell you the steps, which I'm going to do, which is going to help you greatly if you listen to this. But the choice to move through these steps and complete them is yours and yours alone. I can give you all the tools in the world, but if you don't take action and get through it on your own, you're never going to find success in this business, or really any business. All right, so here are the 5 steps that most people go through. The majority of people go through when they start a business. So you're planning, you're getting ready to open your Etsy shop, or this applies to really any business, but I'm going to apply it obviously to Etsy. You're planning, you're getting ready to start your Etsy shop. You're figuring out your niche, your name, all that good stuff. So you're cautiously optimistic. You know, you're positive about it. You're thinking about having your own business, which is you're optimistic about it. You're getting a little excited about it. You're encouraged. You know, all the feelings of this come into play. You like thinking about it. You like planning. You like thinking about the possible success that you could have if you do this. So once you get past that stage is the stage of opening your shop. You get past the initial stage of opening your business. You know, you open doors, you launched your shop, you put up listings, you put up products for sale. Now you're excited. Now you're ready to go. You're excited, and we call this excited optimism. You're positive, you're super pumped, you're ready to get some sales, you're ready to get customers, you're ready to get this thing moving so that you can reach your ultimate goals, whatever that may be, quitting your job, making a significant amount of money to go on vacation, whatever your goals for starting this are, you're starting to realize those goals. You're starting to really think about maybe this is possible to achieve those goals. You're very excited, very optimistic. Then what happens? The next stage is what happens to everyone. No sales, usually. Problems, struggles creep in. Maybe you make some mistakes, but really it's the no sales, the no traffic, the no sales that really gets sellers down. And then what happens to your attitude? You start to become negative. Then you start to blame, then self-doubt. And this is where the majority of people stop in their tracks. This is where they stop in these steps. This is where they stop in their business. This is where they quit because of those things. They blame Etsy, they blame other people, they blame themselves, they're negative, self-doubt. This is where some of you guys probably are at now. This is where maybe some of you guys have been. A lot of people that probably aren't listening to this or have been there, quit, and have never looked back. This is where you have to push forward. This is where you have to push through in order to find the success and reach the goals that you want to reach. If you don't ever get past this stage, which unfortunately most people don't, you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. If you do decide to push on, you continue on, you fix the problems, you continue to work on your Etsy shop, you continue to learn, you can continue to take action, list stuff, fix things along the way. Like I said, what happens? Things will start to improve, and maybe you will start to get sales if you do this long enough. If you do this long enough, you will start to get more traffic. You will start to get sales if you're taking action. Not if you just push past this stage and say, I'm going to keep going, but I'm not going to do anything. No, you got to push past that no sales stage, continue on, fix problems, continue to work on your shop, stay the course. Once you start getting more sales and traffic, what starts to happen? Things start to shift. Now you start to get cautiously optimistic again. Then you start to get excited again. Your mindset starts to shift from negative to, okay, this is possible. I thought it wasn't possible at first. Now it is beginning to seem possible. And then what happens? Once you continue to push past that stage and continue to work on your shop, continue to learn, continue to grow, you'll get more sales. You'll have more success. And then what happens to your mindset? Then you're going to be very excited, highly motivated. Nothing is stopping you now. You're going to continue to push through. You push through all the steps. This is the last step. You push through the tough times. You push that boulder up the hill. Now you can start to reap the rewards. Now you can start to enjoy the success that you're getting and keep that momentum going. Doesn't mean that you're going to stop working on your shop. Doesn't mean that you're going to stop learning. Doesn't mean that you're not going to make mistakes. Doesn't mean that there's going to be lulls, peaks and valleys when it comes to sales. That's all part of doing business. It's all part of running your own business. You're always going to have problems. You're always going to have things that you have to overcome. But you've overcame the hardest part. The hardest part you've overcame. So now you can overcome anything. Now you can focus on your business because you're building your business now. And you can continue to move forward. So those are the steps. You can literally sit back, think about which step you're at right now. And you know what's to come. If you're in the earlier steps, you know the hard stuff is going to come. But you know if you continue on, you can overcome it. It's not going to be a quick process. So let's peel back some of the layers that I talked about earlier at the very beginning of this episode, the introduction, the layers of negativity and uncertainty, the things that people usually say when they're done, when they're at step 3, when they're quitting. So just generally speaking, the first thing that I said was it's time to quit Etsy. And I said, mind you, let's rewind a little bit. I said all these things, all the things that people say, it's time to quit, it doesn't work, too complicated, or it's too competitive, yada, yada. All these things are valid. All these things are correct. But doesn't mean they're correct, but it doesn't mean that they are right, if that makes sense. They're correct, but they're not right. They're not something that you should let hold you back. And you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Maybe that doesn't even make sense. Either way, you're going to understand. Keep listening. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. So it's time to quit Etsy. That's, generally speaking, just drop my LaCroix. It's time to quit Etsy. Generally speaking, this is what normally, if people don't give a reason, it's time to quit. I'm done. maybe it is time to quit for you if you're not doing it for the right reasons, or you haven't thought about your why. Why are you doing it in the first place? If you're doing Etsy for money and money alone, to get rich quick or whatever, you have no passion, no drive, no interest in your niche, no interest in what you're doing, maybe it is time to quit, because this is going to be a really, really tough haul for you. You're probably going to lose interest fast, especially when you're not making money, you're not making sales. If you're only doing it for money, what's going to keep you going? You have no skin in the game besides the money aspect, which normally happens for most people. You start and you're not going to make any money. You're not going to make any sales. You have to keep going because you're passionate about what you're doing. You love doing what you're doing. You love designing, creating things, putting things in the world. And then you work on the back end to figure things out from the business side. But if you don't have passion and you're not interested and you're not excited about what you're doing, you're only doing it for the money, maybe it is time to quit. So think about that. I would highly suggest that you are not doing it for only money. Are we doing it for money? Yes, everyone's doing it for money. At a certain point, we need to make money. But that shouldn't be the only reason. You got to be interested. A lot of people just like hear about the flavor of the week business and they go and start a business just trying to get rich quick and make money, and then they just fall off the map. And the majority of those people are never going to make any money, and they're going to lose interest really fast because it's not easy and it's not quick. So that's number one. The second one is it doesn't work. This Etsy thing doesn't work. It's impossible to get sales. It just doesn't work. This is negativity, of course. Well, it doesn't work for most sellers, at least at first. You got to play the long game. I know it's a stupid analogy, but it's like riding a bike. You don't hop on a bike, at least most people don't hop on a bike and can ride a bike without training wheels. You need to start somewhere. First, you need to learn how to get on the dang bike. You need to learn the basics of stopping, starting, getting on the bike, pedaling. And then from there, you can at one point take off the training wheels, and then down the road, maybe hit a ramp, maybe beef it a couple of times on that ramp, and then you learn to hit the ramp better. Etsy's the same way. You're going to open your shop, you're going to make mistakes, you're not going to fill out things correctly, you're going to make SEO mistakes. You're not going to know what the heck you're doing, and that all causes things not to work the way that it should be, or at least not the way that you want it to work early on, which usually equates to no sales. Not working equates to no traffic and no sales. But as you learn, as you get better, as you learn more about your customer from doing it longer and longer, you can make changes based on what you're seeing, what data you're seeing to improve, and you can change the course. So yeah, it may not work at first, but if you play the long game and you learn and you're dedicated and you're taking action, you will start to learn that it does in fact work. All right, the next one I hear, and this is a big one, it's too competitive, it's too saturated. Yes, as of now, there are 5.5 million sellers on Etsy. Ooh, that's a lot. That is, to think about that, of course, that is a lot. It's daunting. But what you also have to think about, the other edge of the coin, is there's 100 million buyers. 100 million and growing every year. Etsy adds more buyers, more reoccurring buyers. That's a lot. That's way more buyers than there are sellers. Each niche is different. You don't need 100 million buyers. You can get by with a couple hundred buyers, a couple thousand buyers. It's a very small, you just need a very small piece of the pie. So you do not need 100 million buyers, 100 million sales. You just need to figure out a way to break through your competition and get a small piece of those sales. Trust me, I know. I'm in one of the most, I sell graphic t-shirts. I'm in one of the most competitive niches out there. And I still found a way to make $100,000 a year consecutively in consecutive years because of what I've learned in my 9 years of doing Etsy over time. It wasn't quick. I didn't make that to start. It took many years to build that, but you learn your niche, you learn how to do better, you learn how to break through and get your piece of the pie. It's going to be a little bit of a battle. It's going to be a little bit of a fight, but you can absolutely do it. There is plenty to go around. It's the abundance mindset. It's not the scarcity mindset. If you're walking around with a scarcity mindset saying there's not enough for me, then there never will be enough for you. If you're walking around with an abundance mindset saying, well, there's a lot out there for me. I just have to figure out how to get it. And that's the truth. You just have to figure out how to get it. That's all you have to do. And it takes time, it takes learning. Takes passion, desire, and taking action to figure out how you can get your piece of the pie. The last one I have for you is they take too many fees. This really is a cop-out, I think, because I've discussed this many on other episodes before. Yes, there absolutely are fees. This is no different, though, than every platform out there. Every platform out there has fees. Whether you have your own website or not, you're paying domain fees, you're paying payment processing fees. You're going to be paying fees. Some of them are higher, some of those are lower. At the end of the day, what you have to consider is what you get for those fees. With Etsy, yes, you pay a listing fee, you pay a payment processing fee, you pay a final sale fee. Those fees add up. You pay advertising fees, so those fees can be anywhere from 8 to 12% or more, depending on all the combinations of the different things that you're doing. But what you also get for those fees is 100 million buyers, access to 100 million buyers. That's where it comes in. Like I just said, you have to get your piece of the pie. You have to figure out how you can get some of those 100 million buyers. With all those people coming, there's ways that you can capitalize on those buyers. And that's what you're paying for when it comes to Etsy. It's what you're paying for when you do Amazon, when you do eBay. All those companies, the biggest companies out there, you're paying the most fees because they have the most traffic out there. You just have to pay the fees and work hard to accumulate some of those buyers. Now, you can go to there's other websites that have less fees, but they have less traffic. There's usually a direct correlation, fees and traffic and resources out there. So less traffic, less resources usually is what it means. And a lot of people talk about Shopify. Oh, I'm going to do Shopify. That's not even you can't compare the two. Shopify is just a website platform to host your website, and they have tools to help you build out your website. They have no traffic. They're not going to generate traffic for you. It's just basically just think about it. If I want to start my own website, I can do it through Shopify, and then there's your website sitting out in the web. Billions of people on the web, no one can find your website because there's no traffic. You're not doing anything to drive traffic to your website. No one will know. Just because you start a website, no one will know it's there. No one will know it's out there. You gotta drive traffic to it through its SEO optimization, marketing, through social media, paying for marketing, through Google. That's all stuff that Etsy is already doing to drive that 100 million buyers. So it's like drive your own traffic, much harder. Capitalize on Etsy's traffic, much easier. Both require some level of difficulty, work, and action, but one is definitely 100 times easier than the other. So that's what I say to the people say there's too many fees. But that is it, guys. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to give you, the 5 stages of starting a business, so you know where you're at and you can see what's to come. Your future. You just have to ride that wave and do the necessary things to get through those stages. And then the other things is overcoming the main things, the main reasons that people quit and why. You shouldn't let that stop you. Those are not valid. I don't want to say those aren't valid because I just got done telling you earlier that they are valid. They are valid, but they should not apply to you. All right. You shouldn't let them apply to you because there are reasons that you can quit, but they are reasons that you should not quit if you think through them and continue on the course. So that is it. Hopefully that is your pep talk of the week, the month. Hopefully that helps you keep going. It's been a little overdue. I wanted to give you guys one of these type of pep talks, if I can spit it out, because I see this negativity here and there, and I'm not different from that. I feel it creep in sometimes, and I gotta wake up, look in the mirror, slap myself in the face, and give myself a little pep talk, because you can't let that stuff creep in. It does when you're running your own business. It does. It absolutely does for everybody. You're human. I'm human, but these are the reasons why you shouldn't let it. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you like this episode, please like, share, comment. I appreciate it. Make sure you get that Etsy quick start guide that I talked about earlier at handmadeandbeyond.com/quick start. I'll be back soon with another good episode for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day.